Welcome back, everyone. I'm so excited for today's deep dive
Yeah.
into some excerpts from Think and Grow Rich lessons.
Okay.
It's all about how principles from Napoleon Hill's classic Think and Grow Rich are being applied in a real-world mentorship program called Mentoring for Free, or MFF.
Cool.
We've got some really interesting insights here about achieving success and tapping into your full potential.
It's going to be good.
And I know our listeners are all about maximizing knowledge, so let's just jump right in.
Let's do it. I'm excited to unpack this with you.
Okay.
This idea of applying these timeless principles to like a contemporary program like MFF is super fascinating.
Okay, so the excerpt dives right into this concept of specialized knowledge. It talks about Michael and Linda Dlouhy, the creators of MFF, and how they've been helping people generate income from home since 2004.
Wow.
They're really big on this success mindset thing.
That's so important.
Incorporating principles straight out of Think and Grow Rich, they even developed a program called Think and Grow Rich Lessons.
Really?
From an initial 30-day mental cleanse concept.
Wow.
What's so fascinating to me is that evolution.
Yeah.
Like it speaks to adaptability, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It reminds me of something Hill emphasizes in chapter 5 of his book, the need for a detailed plan of action to achieve your goals.
Okay.
But it's not about rigidity, though.
Right.
It's about being able to adjust your approach as you go, which is what Michael and Linda seem to have done with MFF.
For sure.
The excerpts also mention identifying weaknesses in your plan and leveraging a mastermind group for support.
Ooh, a mastermind group.
Yeah.
That sounds right up your alley.
Definitely.
And I bet our listeners are curious too.
I would be.
What's the core idea behind those?
Think of it as surrounding yourself with a group of people who are on the same wavelength, all striving for success and willing to help each other.
I like that.
They become like a sounding board, offering different perspectives and keeping you accountable. It's a powerful concept that Hill truly believed in.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost like having a built-in think tank to help you reach your full potential.
Right.
But there's another concept that caught my eye. This mysterious sixth sense from chapter 14 of Think and Grow Rich.
Ooh.
The excerpt calls it the door to the temple of wisdom.
Wow.
Which sounds incredibly intriguing.
That is intriguing.
What exactly did Hill mean by that?
Hill describes it as this intuitive ability that goes beyond our usual 5 senses.
Okay.
He believed it was the point where our minds, limited as they are, connect with what he calls infinite intelligence, this vast universal mind.
Wow.
It's not something easily described.
Right.
It's more about experiencing it through deep personal development and meditation.
So it's not just about gathering knowledge.
Right.
It's about tapping into a deeper level of wisdom and understanding. But how does that translate to the MFF program? How does the sixth sense fit into their Think and Grow Rich lessons?
The excerpt specifically highlights the role of conversation in developing the sense. It mentions how every relationship starts with a conversation and how that initial exchange can reveal a person's entrepreneurial spirit or lack thereof.
Right.
The key takeaway is that even if a business connection doesn't materialize, the conversation itself can broaden your perspective by exposing you to different viewpoints.
It makes me think about how essential it is to stay open to new possibilities and perspectives.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how the sixth sense starts to develop, by actively engaging with others and being open to their ideas.
Makes sense.
And it connects to the mastermind group concept too, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
The more diverse minds you surround yourself with, you're likely to develop that intuition.
Precisely. And it all circles back to what Hill believed was the starting point of all achievement. Desire. But the end point isn't just success. It's knowledge of yourself, of others, and of the laws of nature.
For sure.
He saw that as the path to true understanding and happiness.
Now, speaking of that journey of discovery, the excerpt mentions someone named Ken Clem, an early MFF member and a big fan of Think and Grow Rich.
Interesting.
It even mentions that he delved into Hill's other work, like the law of success.
Cool.
That little detail really stood out to me.
Yeah.
It shows how this program sparked a deeper exploration for him.
Right.
What do you make of that?
It's a fantastic example of how mentorship and shared learning can ignite a passion for personal growth.
Okay.
This isn't just about acquiring information. It's about sparking a desire to keep learning and evolving.
Right.
Ken's example shows how powerful that can be.
It makes you wonder how many other Ken Clem stories are out there.
Yeah.
How many people have been inspired by MFFs and Think and Grow Rich to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery.
For sure.
And speaking of journeys, Michael and Linda Dlouhy have been leading this mastermind group for over 2 decades.
That's incredible.
The excerpt even mentions that a lot of people have benefited from their positive mental attitude, the motivation they provide, and the improved interpersonal skills they've gained through the program.
Wow.
That's incredibly impressive.
It certainly highlights the importance of consistent effort and dedication in personal development. It's not a quick fix. It's an ongoing commitment.
Yeah.
But the ripple effect of positive influence is clear. Michael and Linda have empowered others to achieve their goals through their dedication and knowledge sharing.
It's inspiring to see how these principles can be put into action and have such a positive impact over time.
Right.
Now diving deeper into Think and Grow Rich itself. Chapter 5 focuses on specialized knowledge.
Yeah.
What exactly did Hill mean by that?
Chapter 5 is all about understanding the value of acquiring knowledge specific to your goals.
Okay.
Hill argued that while general knowledge is important, it's specialized knowledge that sets you apart and helps you succeed in any field.
So it's not just about being well-rounded.
Right.
It's about becoming an expert in your chosen area of interest.
Exactly.
Is that what he meant?
Exactly. He uses the analogy of a lawyer who specializes in a particular area of law.
Okay.
They're not just any lawyer.
Right.
Their focused skills and knowledge make them more valuable and sought after.
It's like becoming a master craftsman.
Yeah.
Honing your skills to a point of expertise.
I like that.
But how does that principle of specialized knowledge apply to the MFF program and their Think and Grow Rich lessons?
In the context of MFF, it's about figuring out the specific skills and knowledge you need to succeed in generating income from home. The excerpt also emphasizes the importance of having a plan of action, which connects to what we discussed earlier about Hill's emphasis on planning and taking action.
Right. He believed that a well-defined plan is essential for success. He even said, those who succeed in any undertaking must have a definite purpose and a definite plan for carrying out that purpose.
That's good.
So it's not enough to just have a vague idea of what you want. You need a concrete roadmap to get there.
Right. Precisely. And remember, he'll also stress the importance of acknowledging your weaknesses and seeking help from others, which is where the mastermind group can be invaluable.
It's about recognizing where you need support and surrounding yourself with people who can fill in those gaps.
Right.
And that brings us back to chapter 14, the one about the mysterious sixth sense.
I love it.
The excerpt opens with a powerful quote from Hill. The sixth sense defies description. It cannot be described to a person who has not mastered the other principles of this philosophy, because such a person has no knowledge and no experience with which the sixth sense may be compared.
Powerful.
What a statement.
Yeah.
Is he saying you can only truly understand it through experience, not just intellectual knowledge?
That's the essence of it. It's this intuitive ability that unfolds as you grow personally and grasp the principles outlined in Think and Grow Rich. It can't be explained. It has to be lived. The excerpt goes on to say, understanding of the sixth sense comes only by meditation through mind development from within. So it's about going inward and cultivating inner awareness.
Right.
It's about tuning into that inner voice, that gut feeling that often guides us in the right direction.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get a sense of how this all fits together.
I love it.
But let's bring it back to the practical side. How does conversation factor into developing the sixth sense?
The excerpt seems to highlight that connection.
Yeah.
Especially within the context of entrepreneurship.
Right.
What jumps out at you there?
It suggests that engaging in conversations with others can help us clarify our desires and beliefs and maybe even strengthen our intuition. The excerpt states, every relationship starts with a conversation. Does the person you are speaking to have entrepreneurial aspirations? Anybody one ever speaks to will have something to sell, either products or services, or maybe a little more than an idea.
So every conversation is a potential learning opportunity, a chance to exchange ideas and gain new insights.
For sure.
It's about recognizing that entrepreneurial spirit can be found anywhere.
Right.
And that every interaction has potential value, even if it doesn't lead to a business deal.
Definitely.
I love that idea.
And the excerpt goes further. Even when a business relationship appears to be an unlikely outcome, an ongoing conversation can still add value through gaining an understanding of another person's point of view, an alternate opinion.
It's like opening yourself up to different ways of thinking, challenging your own assumptions, and gaining a broader understanding of the world.
I like that.
And I imagine this ties back to the mastermind group concept as well, right?
It does.
Surrounding yourself with people who have diverse experiences and perspectives can be a powerful way to develop your intuition and access that sixth sense.
Precisely. It's about leveraging the power of collective wisdom and experience to expand our own understanding. And it reminds us that we all have something unique to offer, even if it's just a different way of seeing things.
Now, shifting gears a bit. Let's talk about the first step towards riches, according to Napoleon Hill. Desire. Chapter 1 of Think and Grow Rich is entirely dedicated to the power of desire. Hill was adamant that it's the starting point of all achievement. And he had a powerful quote about it. Desire is the starting point of all achievement, no matter what a man's goal may be.
Wow.
But he wasn't talking about just wishing for something. He distinguished between passive wishing and true active desire. The kind that fuels you to take action.
I like that.
So it's about having that fire in your belly, that burning passion that drives you forward. But how do you turn that desire into something tangible?
That's a good question.
Hill must have had a method for that.
He did. He outlined a 6-step formula for transforming desire into its physical equivalent.
I love it. Tell me more.
First, you have to fix in your mind the exact amount of money you desire. It's not enough to say, I want to be rich. You need to be specific.
It's about setting a clear and measurable target, something you can really visualize what comes next.
You have to determine what you intend to give in return for the money you desire. Remember, there's no such thing as something for nothing. You have to bring something of value to the table.
It's about recognizing that achievement requires effort and contribution. You can't just expect success to fall into your lap.
I agree.
What's step 3?
Third, you must establish a definite date by which you intend to possess the money you desire. This creates a sense of urgency and accountability. It's like setting a deadline for yourself to stay motivated.
I'm starting to see how this formula works. It's about combining a clear vision with a concrete plan of action. What are the next steps?
The 4th step is to create a definite plan for carrying out your desire. And begin at once, whether you are ready or not to put this plan into action. Don't wait for the perfect moment or for all the pieces to fall into place. Start taking action.
Even if it's just small steps.
So it's about overcoming procrastination and taking that first step, even if you don't feel fully prepared. What about steps 5 and 6?
Step 5 is about solidifying your commitment. Hill says you should write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money you intend to acquire, the time limit for its acquisition, what you intend to give in return for the money, and the plan through which you intend to accumulate it.
So it's like creating a contract with yourself, a tangible representation of your goals and your commitment to achieving them. What's the final step?
The final step is about impressing your desire upon your subconscious mind. Hill says to read your written statement aloud twice daily, once just before retiring at night, and once just after arising in the morning. And as you read, see and feel and believe yourself already in possession of the money.
So it's about visualizing your success.
And programming your subconscious mind for achievement. So it's not just about setting goals and making plans. It's about cultivating that unwavering belief in your ability to achieve them. But how do you develop that belief? How do you strengthen your faith in yourself and your vision?
That's where the concept of faith comes in, which is the 2nd step in Hill's 13 Steps to Riches. And he considered it absolutely crucial for transforming desire into reality.
Let's unpack this idea of faith.
Let's do it.
What exactly did Hill mean by that?
Hill described faith as the visualization of and belief in the attainment of desire.
Okay.
Now, he wasn't just talking about faith in like a religious sense.
Okay.
He saw it as a powerful force that you can harness to achieve any goal, whether it's financial success, personal growth, or anything else you set your mind to.
So it's about having that unwavering belief in your ability to achieve what you set out to do.
Exactly.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
Because that ties back to the success mindset that Michael and Linda Dlouhy emphasize in MFF.
Absolutely. And Hill went even further, calling faith the head chemist of the mind.
Wow.
He believed it had the power to influence our thoughts and actions.
Okay.
Almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you truly believe you can accomplish something, you're far more likely to take the necessary steps to make it happen.
It's almost like faith creates a momentum of its own, propelling you towards your goal.
I agree.
But how do you build that faith? How do you cultivate that unshakable belief in yourself?
Hill believed that one powerful way to cultivate faith is through autosuggestion.
Autosuggestion.
Yeah. It's the process of repeating positive affirmations to yourself.
Okay.
Almost like reprogramming your subconscious mind for success.
Yeah.
You're essentially planting those seeds of belief in your mind through positive self-talk.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But didn't Hill also talk about the importance of emotion in this process?
Yes, he did.
It's not just about thinking positive thoughts.
Okay.
It's about feeling them deeply.
Right. You're absolutely right. Hill believed that emotion amplified the power of thought.
Okay.
He said, faith is a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instructions to the subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. Wow. So it's about combining those positive affirmations with strong positive emotions to supercharge your faith and accelerate your progress.
It's like creating a potent mix of belief and feeling to fuel your journey.
Right.
Now, I'm curious about how autosuggestion fits into Hill's overall formula for success.
Yeah.
Is that where it comes in?
It is. Autosuggestion is the third step in Hill's 13 steps to riches.
Gotcha.
He believed it was the key to bridging the gap between desire and belief.
Okay.
Setting the stage for action.
Okay, let's dive deeper into autosuggestion.
Let's do it.
What are some practical ways someone can start using this technique in their own life?
Think of it as consciously choosing the thoughts you feed your mind.
Okay.
Instead of dwelling on doubts and fears, you focus on positive affirmations that align with your goals.
Gotcha.
For example, if you're trying to build a business, you might repeat to yourself, I am a successful entrepreneur, or my business is thriving.
Okay.
The key is to make these affirmations specific, believable, and emotionally charged.
So it's not just about repeating empty phrases.
Right.
It's about crafting statements that resonate with you on a deep level.
Exactly.
And I imagine repetition is important here.
It is.
It's about consistently feeding your mind these positive messages.
Exactly. The more you repeat these affirmations, the more they become ingrained in your subconscious mind, influencing your thoughts, beliefs, and actions. It's like creating a new mental blueprint for success.
This reminds me of the excerpt's emphasis on the MFF program's role in cultivating a positive mental attitude.
Right.
It's about creating that supportive environment where you can reinforce those positive beliefs and encourage each other to stay focused on your goals.
Precisely. It's about surrounding yourself with people who believe in you and your vision, who will help you stay motivated and accountable.
Okay.
And that ties back to the mastermind group concept we discussed earlier.
It's amazing how all these principles intertwine and reinforce each other.
I know. It's so cool.
Now, I know Hill also talked about the importance of visualization.
Yes.
In Think and Grow Rich.
He did.
How does that connect to autosuggestion and faith?
Visualization is a powerful tool for strengthening your faith and programming your subconscious mind for success.
Okay.
Hill believed that by vividly imagining ourselves already in possession of our desires, we could create a mental blueprint for our subconscious mind to follow.
It's like creating a movie in your mind. Where you're the star living out your dream life.
Right.
But didn't Hill also encourage people to engage all their senses in this process?
He did.
It's not just about seeing it. It's about feeling it.
Right.
Hearing it.
Yeah.
Even smelling it.
You're exactly right. The more vividly you can engage all your senses in the visualization process, the more powerful the impact on your subconscious mind.
Oh, wow.
It's about creating a fully immersive experience that feels real to your mind and body.
It's almost like you're tricking your mind into believing that your dream is already a reality.
Right.
And I imagine that kind of belief can be incredibly motivating and empowering.
It certainly can. And Hill believed that by consistently practicing visualization, we could not only strengthen our faith, but also spark our creativity and inspire new ideas.
Now, speaking of sparking creativity, the excerpt also mentions the importance of specialized knowledge, a concept Hill dedicated an entire chapter to in Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
Can you remind us what that's all about?
Chapter 5, as we've touched upon, is all about acquiring knowledge specific to your goals. Hill argued that while general knowledge is valuable, it's specialized knowledge that truly sets you apart.
So it's about going beyond just being well-informed
Right.
and becoming a true expert in your chosen field.
Exactly.
It's about honing those skills and acquiring that deep specialized knowledge.
Right.
That makes you invaluable.
I agree.
Exactly.
Remember the analogy of the specialized lawyer?
Yeah.
They're sought after because of their focused expertise. And in the context of the MFF program, it's about figuring out what specific skills and knowledge you need to succeed in generating income from home.
So it's about applying that principle of specialized knowledge to the specific context of their program.
Right.
It's fascinating to see how these principles can be adapted and applied in different settings.
It is.
But didn't Hill also emphasize the importance of having a plan of action?
He did.
That seems to be a recurring theme in his work.
Yeah, for sure.
You're absolutely right.
I know.
Hill was a big believer in having a clear plan of action. He believed that a well-defined plan is crucial for success.
Right.
And he had a great quote about it.
Okay.
Those who succeed in any undertaking must have a definite purpose and a definite plan for carrying out that purpose.
I love that.
It's about having that roadmap to guide you.
Yeah.
Those concrete steps to take you from where you are to where you want to be.
Makes sense.
It's not enough to just dream big.
Right.
You have to break down those dreams into actionable steps.
Exactly. And remember, he'll also stress the importance of recognizing your weaknesses and seeking help from others. That's where the mastermind group comes in.
Right.
Providing that support and accountability to help you stay on track.
It's about leveraging the power of collaboration, recognizing that we can achieve far more together than we can alone.
Absolutely.
But let's shift gears again and talk about another key principle, imagination. Hill called it the workshop of the mind.
Ooh.
Which is such a great way to describe it.
I know.
Can you elaborate on what he meant by that?
Hill believed that imagination was the faculty of the mind that allowed us to create new ideas and solutions.
Okay.
He actually distinguished between two types of imagination, synthetic imagination and creative imagination.
Two types of imagination.
Yeah.
That's intriguing.
I know.
What's the difference between them?
Think of synthetic imagination as the ability to rearrange existing ideas and concepts into new combinations.
Okay.
It's like taking those mental building blocks and creating something new and innovative from them.
Right.
It's almost like a remix of existing ideas, blending them in a unique way.
That's interesting.
Right.
So it's about taking what already exists and seeing it in a new light, finding those unexpected connections and possibilities.
Oh, absolutely.
But what about creative imagination?
Okay.
How is that different?
Creative imagination is about tapping into a deeper wellspring of inspiration.
Okay.
Hill believed that this type of imagination allows us to access the realm of infinite intelligence, bringing forth entirely new ideas that have never existed before.
Okay.
It's about accessing that pure, raw, creative energy that resides within each of us.
It's like connecting to a source of unlimited potential.
Right.
Where new ideas and possibilities are constantly emerging.
Yeah.
That's incredibly exciting.
It is.
But did Hill believe that everyone could develop their imagination? Or is it something you're either born with or not?
He absolutely believed that imagination could be cultivated and strengthened.
Okay.
He compared it to a muscle that grows stronger with exercise. The more we use our imagination, the more powerful it becomes.
So it's about flexing those creative muscles, pushing ourselves to think outside the box and exploring new possibilities.
Right.
What are some ways we can do that? How can we actively cultivate our imagination?
He'll encourage people to engage in activities that stimulate the imagination. Speaker. Okay. Things like reading, traveling, and spending time in nature.
Right.
It's about exposing ourselves to new experiences and perspectives that can spark our creativity and challenge our usual ways of thinking.
It's about breaking out of our routine and exploring the world with a sense of wonder and curiosity.
I like that.
And didn't Hill also believe that visualization could play a role in developing imagination?
He did. He believed that by vividly imagining our desired outcomes, we could not only strengthen our faith, but also stimulate our creative faculties and generate new ideas and solutions. So visualization can be a powerful tool for both personal growth and creative innovation.
It's like using the power of our minds to create the future we desire.
For sure.
Now, another concept that stood out to me in the excerpt is organized planning. Hill called it the crystallization of desire into action.
Interesting.
This is a powerful image.
It is.
Can you elaborate on what he meant by that?
Chapter 8 of Think and Grow Rich dives deep into the importance of having a clear plan of action and assembling a team to support you. Hill believed that organized planning is essential for turning those desires and ideas into concrete steps, making them tangible and actionable.
So it's about taking those big dreams and breaking them down into smaller, more manageable pieces. It's about creating that roadmap to success, that step-by-step guide to achieving your goals.
Exactly. And he emphasized that it's not enough to just create a plan. You have to be passionate about it, driven to see it through.
Right.
He said, definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement. Without a definite plan and a burning desire to carry it out, you are just drifting along.
So it's about combining that clear vision with a burning desire to achieve it.
Right.
It's about having that fire in your belly that keeps you moving forward, even when things get tough.
Absolutely. And remember, Hill also stressed the importance of breaking down those large goals into smaller, more manageable steps. He believed that taking consistent action toward our goals, even if they're small steps, builds momentum and eventually leads to success.
It's about celebrating those small wins along the way.
Yeah.
Recognizing that every step forward is a victory. It's about not getting overwhelmed by the big picture.
Right.
And focusing on the actions you can take right now to move closer to your goal.
Makes sense. And another crucial aspect of organized planning is assembling a team to support you in your endeavors. This brings us back to the mastermind group concept, which Hill believed was one of the most powerful tools for success.
It's about recognizing that we don't have to go it alone.
Right.
That we can leverage the strengths of others to achieve our goals.
For sure. But Hill didn't just advocate for any kind of group. He had specific criteria for a mastermind group.
Okay. Tell me more about that.
Absolutely. He believed that no one achieves great things alone. And that we all need the support of others to reach our full potential. He outlines specific qualities to look for in a mastermind group, such as harmony of purpose, loyalty, and a positive mental attitude. It's about finding people who share your vision, who will support you, and challenge you to become your best self.
So it's not just about finding people who are like-minded. It's about finding people who inspire you, who uplift you, and who hold you accountable. It's about creating a synergy of energy and purpose that propels everyone forward.
Absolutely. And this ties back to the MFF program and their emphasis on creating a supportive community. It does. It's about providing that platform for people to connect with others who share their goals and support each other on their journey towards success. It's about creating a culture of encouragement, collaboration, and shared learning.
Now, I'm curious about another principle that Hill discussed. Decision.
decision.
He called it the mastery of procrastination, which is something I think we can all relate to.
For sure.
What are some of Hill's insights on overcoming procrastination and becoming more decisive?
Chapter 9 of Think and Grow Rich is all about that.
Okay.
Hill believed that procrastination was a major obstacle to success, stemming from a lack of decisiveness.
Okay.
He had a powerful quote about it.
Okay, what is it?
Procrastination is the thief of time. Okay. He emphasized the importance of developing the habit of making decisions quickly and sticking to them.
Gotcha.
He also said, the world is full of wishers, but it takes doers to get things done.
So it's about recognizing the value of time and seizing the moment. It's about shifting from a passive mindset to an active one.
Okay.
Taking charge and making things happen instead of waiting for them to happen.
Exactly. And Hill had some practical tips for overcoming procrastination.
Oh.
He suggested setting deadlines for yourself, breaking down large tasks into smaller, more manageable ones, and rewarding yourself for accomplishments.
Gotcha.
It's about creating systems and structures that support action and celebrate progress.
It's about creating that positive feedback loop where taking action leads to rewards, which in turn motivates you to take more action.
Exactly. But didn't Hill also talk about the importance of mindset in overcoming procrastination? He did. He believed that cultivating a positive mental attitude was crucial for overcoming procrastination. He encouraged people to focus on the positive aspects of their goals and to visualize themselves achieving those goals. He believed that by shifting our mindset from fear and doubt to confidence and belief, we could overcome procrastination and move forward with purpose.
It's about using the power of our minds to create the reality we desire instead of letting fear and procrastination hold us back.
Makes sense. Now, another principle that Hill emphasized is persistence.
Persistence.
He called it the sustained effort necessary to induce faith.
Interesting.
Why do you think he saw persistence as so crucial? Hill dedicated chapter 13 of Think and Grow Rich to the power of persistence. He saw it as the quality that separated those who achieve greatness from those who give up too soon. He said, most people are ready to throw their aims and purposes overboard and give up at the first sign of opposition or misfortune. A few carry on despite all opposition until they attain their goal.
Wow.
He saw persistence as the key to overcoming challenges, to strengthening your faith, and to ultimately achieving your dreams.
So it's about having that unwavering determination to succeed, no matter what obstacles you encounter.
For sure.
It's about refusing to give up on your vision, even when things get tough.
Exactly. And Hill believed that persistence was closely tied to faith. The more persistent you are in pursuing your goals, the stronger your belief in yourself and your vision becomes. It's like a positive feedback loop, where action fuels belief, and belief fuels further action.
It's like that saying, the only way to do great work is to love what you do and keep doing it.
I like that.
And I imagine that having a supportive community can make a big difference when it comes to persistence.
Right.
Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you can help you stay motivated and on track.
Absolutely.
Even when you face setbacks.
You're absolutely right. And Hill offered some practical advice for developing persistence, like setting clear goals, breaking down large tasks into smaller ones, and surrounding yourself with those supportive people. It's about creating a system that supports your efforts and helps you stay focused on the long term.
It's like having that cheering section. Those people who believe in you even when you doubt yourself.
I love that. But Hill also emphasized the importance of learning from your mistakes, didn't he? It's not just about blindly pushing forward. It's about being able to course correct and adapt along the way.
Exactly.
Hill believed that failure was an essential part of the learning process. He encouraged people to analyze their mistakes, to identify areas for improvement, and to use those setbacks as stepping stones to greater success.
Gotcha.
He believed that by cultivating persistence and a willingness to learn from our experiences, we could overcome any obstacle and achieve any goal.
It's about embracing the journey with all its twists and turns and recognizing that every experience, even the challenging ones, can teach us something valuable.
That makes sense. Now, the excerpt also touches on the concept of the power of the mastermind, which Hill devoted an entire chapter to in Think and Grow Rich. We've talked about the mastermind concept throughout this deep dive, but it's worth revisiting it in this context.
Okay, I agree. Let's do that. What stands out to you about it now?
Absolutely. Chapter 10 of Think and Grow Rich is all about harnessing the power of collaboration, about recognizing that we can achieve far more together than we can alone. And Hill believed that the mastermind principle was one of the most powerful tools for success. He said, no two minds ever come together without thereby creating a third invisible, intangible force, which may be likened to a third mind.
Wow.
He saw it as a synergy of intelligence, creativity, and purpose. That emerges when like-minded individuals come together with a shared goal.
It's like creating that collective brain power, that shared energy that propels everyone forward.
I agree. But Hill also emphasized the importance of choosing your mastermind group carefully, didn't he? It's not just about finding anyone to collaborate with. It's about finding the right people who will truly support and challenge you.
Absolutely.
He absolutely did. He had a great quote about this.
What is it?
You are the same today that you will be 5 years from now, except for two things: the people with whom you associate and the books you read.
Wow.
He believed that the people we surround ourselves with have a profound impact on our lives, shaping our thoughts, beliefs, and actions.
It's about recognizing the power of our social circles, the influence they have on our path and our potential.
I agree. And I think the MFF program is a great example of how the mastermind principle can be applied in a real-world setting.
Okay, let's talk about that.
It is. They've created a supportive community where individuals can connect with others who share their goals and aspirations, providing a platform for collaboration, encouragement, and accountability. It's a living example of how the mastermind principle can help people achieve greater success than they could on their own.
Now, the excerpt also mentions a concept that Hill addressed in Think and Grow Rich.
Okay.
That can be a bit controversial. The mystery of sex transmutation. Oh, wow. Can you talk about that a bit?
Chapter 11 is indeed one of the most discussed chapters in Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah, for sure.
It's where Hill explores the idea of channeling sexual energy into creative energy. It's a concept that can be interpreted in many ways.
Right.
But at its core, it's about recognizing the power of desire.
Okay.
And finding healthy and constructive ways to channel that energy towards our goals.
So it's about harnessing that raw energy and redirecting it toward creative pursuits,
right?
Personal growth,
yeah,
or anything else that aligns with our vision.
Absolutely. What were some of Hill's suggestions for achieving this transmutation?
Okay, good question.
Hill offered various techniques,
okay,
from practicing celibacy to engaging in creative activities and focusing on mental and spiritual development.
Okay.
It's less about suppressing desire and more about transforming it.
Okay.
Finding outlets that fuel your passions and purpose.
It's about recognizing that energy is neither good nor bad.
Right.
It's all about how you direct it.
Exactly. And I think that ties into the overall theme of Think and Grow Rich, which is about mastering your mind and harnessing your inner power to create the life you desire.
You're exactly right. And that leads us to another key principle that Hill discussed.
Okay.
The subconscious mind.
Okay.
He called it the connecting link.
Interesting.
Between the finite mind and infinite intelligence.
Okay.
Why do you think he placed such importance on understanding the subconscious mind?
Hill saw the subconscious mind as incredibly powerful.
Okay.
A driving force in shaping our reality.
Okay.
He said, the subconscious mind is the seat of emotions, beliefs, habits, and memories. It is also the source of intuition, creativity, and inspiration.
Okay.
He believed that by understanding how the subconscious mind works, we could consciously influence it to work in our favor.
It's like becoming the master of your own mind.
Right.
Directing that subconscious power towards your goals.
Exactly. But how do you do that?
Right. How do you influence something that operates beneath the level of conscious awareness?
Hill believed that the subconscious mind operates according to the principle of autosuggestion.
Okay.
Meaning it accepts as true whatever thoughts and feelings we repeatedly impress upon it.
So it's almost like we're programming our subconscious minds, whether intentionally or unintentionally, with our dominant thoughts and beliefs. If we're constantly feeding it negative messages, it will reflect that back to us in our experiences.
Yeah.
But if we consciously choose to focus on positive, empowering thoughts, our subconscious mind will align with that as well.
Exactly. And Hill offered several techniques for influencing the subconscious mind, including visualization, autosuggestion, and repetition. He believed that by consistently feeding our subconscious minds positive messages, we could shape our beliefs, our actions, and ultimately our reality.
So it's about becoming aware of our thought patterns and making a conscious effort to choose thoughts that align with our goals and aspirations.
Absolutely. But didn't Hill also talk about the importance of protecting our subconscious minds from negative influences?
He did.
He compared the subconscious mind to a fertile garden, saying that weeds will grow in abundance if the seeds of more desirable crops are not sown therein. He believed it was essential to guard our subconscious minds against negative input, whether it comes from external sources like the media or from our own internal self-talk.
So it's not just about focusing on the positive.
Right.
It's about being mindful of what we allow into our minds.
Yeah.
It's about creating a mental environment that supports growth and positive transformation.
And that leads us to another fascinating concept that Hill discussed, the brain.
The brain.
He saw it as the broadcasting and receiving station of thought, highlighting its incredible power to both transmit and receive information. He said, the human brain is the most complex and wonderful mechanism in the universe. It is capable of receiving and transmitting thought vibrations of an infinite variety and power.
So he's suggesting that our brains are like antennas, constantly sending and receiving signals.
Yeah.
And he believed that we could learn to control the frequency of our thoughts, choosing what kind of signals we broadcast and receive.
Exactly. He believed we could become more mindful of our thought patterns and consciously choose to focus on positive, empowering thoughts. And by doing so, we could attract success and abundance into our lives. He famously said, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve.
It's about recognizing the power of our thoughts to shape our reality, to create the experiences we desire.
Exactly. Now, I'd like to circle back to the sixth sense, which we discussed earlier. It's such an intriguing concept, and I think it's worth revisiting in light of all these other principles we've explored.
Okay, I agree.
Hill dedicated Chapter 14 of Think and Grow Rich to the sixth sense, describing it as an intuitive ability that goes beyond our ordinary senses. He believed it was the connection point between our finite minds and infinite intelligence. That vast universal mind that holds all knowledge and wisdom.
So it's like tapping into a higher level of consciousness. Or awareness, a realm of knowing that transcends logic and reason.
Exactly. But didn't Hill say that the sixth sense couldn't be explained or described, that it could only be experienced?
He did.
He believed it was a mystical experience, a direct perception of truth that could not be captured in words. He saw it as the source of inspiration, intuition, and spiritual guidance. He said, the sixth sense is the faculty through which infinite intelligence may and will communicate voluntarily without any effort from or solicitation by the individual. So it's about surrendering to that higher power, allowing it to guide us towards our highest good.
It's about cultivating that inner knowing, that deep trust in our intuition and our connection to something greater than ourselves.
Right. But how do we develop that sixth sense?
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Is it something that just happens? Or are there things we can do to cultivate it?
Right.
Hill believed that the sixth sense could be developed through practices like meditation, contemplation, and a deep understanding of the principles he outlined in Think and Grow Rich. It's about quieting the mind, connecting to our inner wisdom, and opening ourselves to the guidance of the universe.
It's about creating space for those intuitive insights to emerge. Trusting that inner voice that often speaks to us in whispers.
I love that. Now, I remember the excerpt also highlighted the role of conversation in developing the sixth sense. Can you elaborate on that connection? The excerpt emphasizes that every relationship begins with a conversation.
Okay.
And that these conversations can be powerful catalysts for growth and insight.
Right.
It's about recognizing that we can learn and grow from every interaction, even if it doesn't lead to a business deal or a formal mentorship.
It's about approaching every conversation with an open mind.
Yeah.
A willingness to listen and learn, and a genuine curiosity about other perspectives.
I like that. And I think this ties back to the mastermind group concept, because those groups provide a safe and supportive space for meaningful dialogue and exchange of ideas.
Exactly. It's about creating that environment where people feel comfortable sharing their thoughts and experiences, where they can learn from each other and support each other's growth.
For sure.
And it's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, how we can all benefit from the collective wisdom and experience of the group.
It's like tapping into a network of shared knowledge and insight, expanding our own understanding through the power of connection.
Now, I'd like to talk about a topic that can be challenging, but is essential to address fear.
Yeah.
It's an emotion that can either paralyze us or motivate us, depending on how we choose to respond to it.
Yeah.
What were some of Hill's insights on understanding and overcoming fear?
Hill's devoted an entire chapter of Think and Grow Rich to overcoming fear. Okay. In chapter 12, he identified 6 basic fears that he believed held people back.
Okay. What are they?
Poverty, criticism, ill health,
Okay.
loss of love,
Okay.
old age, and death.
Okay.
These are fears that are deeply ingrained in our human experience. Fears that can often feel overwhelming and insurmountable.
Those are pretty fundamental fears that I think we all grapple with at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
But Hill believed that fear could be overcome. Right. What were some of his suggestions for doing so?
He did. He believed that fear was often rooted in ignorance, and that by understanding the nature of our fears, we could begin to dismantle them. He encouraged people to face their fears head on, to shine a light on them and see them for what they truly are.
It's about recognizing that fear often distorts our perception of reality.
Yeah.
Making things seem much worse than they actually are.
Right.
By confronting our fears directly, we can begin to diminish their power over us.
Exactly. And Hill offered some practical strategies for overcoming fear.
Okay. What are those?
He suggested replacing negative thoughts with positive ones.
Okay.
Focusing on our strengths rather than our weaknesses.
Okay.
And taking action despite our fears.
Okay.
He believed that by taking action, even when we feel afraid,
Okay.
we prove to ourselves that we are stronger than our fears.
It's about taking that first step, even if it's a small one.
Right.
And recognizing that courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of it.
I agree. Didn't he also emphasize the importance of faith in overcoming fear?
Right.
He did. He believed that by cultivating faith in ourselves and our ability to succeed, we could conquer any fear that stood in our way.
Okay.
It's about trusting in ourselves, our abilities, and the support of the universe.
It's about recognizing that we have the inner strength and resilience to overcome challenges.
Right.
And that we are never truly alone.
For sure. Now, circling back to the MFF program, it's clear how they've woven these principles into their approach.
Right.
They've created a supportive community where individuals can learn from each other, share their experiences, and overcome their fears together. It's a practical, real-world application of Hill's philosophy, a testament to the power of these principles when they're put into action.
It's like a living embodiment of Think and Grow Rich, where people are encouraged to cultivate a positive mental attitude, develop their sixth sense, and harness the power of the mastermind to achieve their goals.
I love it. And the excerpt specifically highlighted the positive impact that the program has had on its participants.
What do they say?
Exactly. It mentions how people have benefited from the positive mental attitude they've cultivated, the motivation they've gained, and the improved interpersonal skills they've developed through participating in the program.
It's really inspiring to see how these principles can transform lives when they're applied consistently and with commitment.
It is. Now, I'd like to highlight something that really stood out to me in the excerpt. The emphasis on the power of conversation.
Yes, I noticed that as well.
It's mentioned multiple times in relation to developing the sixth sense, building business relationships, and even just gaining a broader perspective on life.
It really highlights how essential human connection is and how valuable it can be to engage in meaningful dialogue with others. It's about recognizing that we can learn and grow from every interaction.
I agree.
Even if it doesn't lead to a tangible outcome, like a business deal or mentorship.
Exactly. It's about approaching conversations with a spirit of curiosity, openness, and a genuine desire to understand other perspectives. It's about recognizing that we all have something unique to offer, even if it's just a different way of looking at things.
It's a beautiful reminder that we're all interconnected and that by sharing our knowledge, experiences, and perspectives, we can create a richer, more vibrant tapestry of understanding.
I like that. And it brings us back to the concept of the mastermind group, which is all about. It's all about harnessing the power of collective wisdom and experience.
It's about recognizing that we're stronger together.
Yeah.
That by collaborating and supporting each other, we can achieve far more than we could on our own.
Right. It's about creating a space where individuals feel empowered to share their ideas, their challenges, and their triumphs, knowing that they will be met with encouragement and understanding.
Now, I'd like to talk about the importance of persistence and consistent effort.
Okay.
A theme that runs throughout Think and Grow Rich.
Right.
And is clearly embodied in the MFF program.
Absolutely. It's not enough to just have a positive mental attitude and a great plan. We also need to be willing to put in the work day after day, even when we encounter setbacks or challenges. As Hill said, persistence is to the character of man as carbon is to steel.
Wow.
It's that essential ingredient that gives us the strength and resilience to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals.
It's about recognizing that success is a marathon, not a sprint, and that it requires sustained effort and a willingness to keep going even when we don't see immediate results.
And the excerpt provides a great example of this. With the story of Michael and Linda Dlouhy, who have have been running the MFF program for over 2 decades.
Wow.
Their dedication and persistence have touched the lives of countless individuals, helping them to achieve their goals and live more fulfilling lives.
It's a testament to the power of commitment and the impact that we can have when we stay true to our vision and refuse to give up on our dreams.
And it highlights the importance of celebrating those small wins along the way, recognizing that progress, not perfection, is the key to long-term success.
I think it's important to emphasize the importance of taking action.
Okay.
A point that Hill drove home throughout Think and Grow Rich.
Absolutely. Knowledge without action is futile. It's about translating those ideas and insights into concrete steps and moving forward with purpose and determination.
And the excerpt provides a perfect illustration of this with the story of Michael and Linda. They didn't just read Think and Grow Rich and dream of helping others. They took action and created the MFF program to make a tangible difference in people's lives.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to create positive change in the world.
Okay.
But it starts with taking that first step, with putting our ideas into action and making them a reality.
And that's where the real magic happens.
I agree.
It's in the doing, in the striving, in the constant effort to bring our visions to life.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with this question. What action will you take today to move closer to your goals? What step will you take to create the life you desire?
It's about taking those dreams and turning them into reality one step at a time.
And it's about remembering that success is not a solo endeavor. We all need the support of others to help us along the way.
Which brings us back to the power of the mastermind group and the MFF program itself. It's about creating those connections, finding those mentors, and surrounding ourselves with people who believe in us and our potential.
And it's about giving back and supporting others on their journey as well.
Because true success is not just about achieving our own goals. It's also about making a positive impact on the world around us.
Exactly. It's about using our gifts and talents to create something meaningful and lasting.
It's about leaving a legacy that extends beyond ourselves and inspires others to reach for their own dreams.
And that's the ultimate message of Think and Grow Rich. It's about recognizing our own power to shape our reality and creating a life of abundance and fulfillment.
So as you go about your week, keep exploring, keep learning, keep growing, and keep shining your light brightly.
Until next time, keep diving deep.